The following is a presentation of PH Athletics. We welcome you to Montvale, New Jersey on a beautiful baseball Monday in late April. A league game for Pascack Hills baseball on the docket today as they take on the Indian Hills Braves. Good afternoon or evening, everybody. I'm Matthew Merlino. Thanks for spending a little bit of your Monday afternoon with us. We promise it will be worth your while. Last year, Indian Hills, a Bergen County quarterfinalist, 19-8 record. They were 6-4 and finished tied for third in the league standings. They went all the way to the North 1 Group 2 semifinals, the Sweet 16 in the state tournament. This year, a little bit of a rockier start. 6-6 overall, but the league record 2-4. They had only 4 losses last year through 6 games. This year, they have 4 already and sit 5th in the Patriot Division. But they have dropped back to North 1 Group 1. They were in North 1 Group 2 last 2, and in the PowerPoint standings for that section and group, they are first of the 25 teams in there on a 2-game winning streak, with wins against Ridgefield Park and Ramsey, as well as a 5-3 win against Waldwick before a 7-4 loss at Ramsey last Monday. As for Hills, 20-8 last year. This year, a little bit middle of the pack, 7-7 overall, but 4-2 in the league, just a game back of Westwood for the league lead, and tied with Ramsey for second in the Big North Patriot Division, awaiting where they will be seated in the county tournament with that meeting on May the 1st. They sit 9th in the North 1 Group 2 PowerPoint standings right now. The pitcher today for Hills will be Kyle Wankus. He'll be caught by Jake Zabo at first. Anthony Blackford. Second features Kyle Marquise. Third will feature Eddie Mulligan today. A little bit of a change of scenery for him as Wankus pitches strike 1 here. At short, another change. Emerson Cho fills in there. Him and Kyle Marquise switching, it seems. And then in the outfield, a debut, it seems, for the sophomore Cole Miller in left. Joe Napolitano is in center, and John Giantonio, as usual, in right. This is the Indian Hills pitcher, L.J. Renshaw, the senior, who faces an 0-2 count from Wankus and takes strike 3. So now it is the shortstop and the sophomore Matt O'Shaughnessy who comes to the plate, the second batter in the Indian Hills lineup. On deck, the designated hitter Ryan Hurley. First pitch from Wankus inside. We have a scoreboard today. We'll see if it stays updated, and we'll see if it helps us. 1-1. That went a little outside. So it's a 2-1 count. Doesn't seem the board is updating today, so that won't help us. 2-2 here by my count. As we said, on deck, Ryan Hurley. I don't believe any relation to Danny or Bobby. He hits one over to Napolitano, who makes the catch and puts 2 away. That was O'Shaughnessy, and now it will be Ryan Hurley at the plate. So Hurley, the designated hitter. And he'll take strike 1. Oh and 2. 2 away for Wankus here. with Hurley at the plate. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and it's a 1-2-3 inning to start things off for Hills, 0-0 at the middle of the first. Pitcher today for Indian Hills is L.J. Renshaw, who led off, and he'll face the Pascack Hills pitcher Kyle Wankus, who leads off for the Broncos here. And we'll take strike one. We always have to clear this up when Pascack Hills plays Indian Hills, but when I say Hills, that means Pascack Hills. I'll try and keep it that way, just to clear things up for all of you. 0-2 for Wankus here, takes one outside. The 1-2, outside and low. And we have an even count here for Wankus, who will be followed in the order by the right fielder John Giantonio, and Emerson Cho bats third. Ground ball Wankus towards short. Throw is in time from O'Shaughnessy, and Wankus is out. Indian Hills has one away as Giantonio comes to the plate with Cho, the shortstop, today on deck. First pitch hit high, deep, gone! John Giantonio, a huge drive. 1-0 Pascack Hills early. How about that? So it will be Emerson Cho now. The shortstop. And on deck, the first baseman, Anthony Blackford. Hills with a 1-0 lead off of a home run from John Giantonio. First pitch to him from L.J. Renshaw, and Renshaw pitches one low. Fouled that one back. 1-1. After Blackford, it will be the DH Corey Ginsberg, followed by Kyle Marquise, and then Jake Zabo, Joe Napolitano, and Eddie Mulligan to round out the order for Hills, Pascack Hills. 2-1. Low, and we have a 3-1 count here. And that will be ball 4 for Cho, so there's a runner on first for Blackford, and one away with a 1-run Pascack Hills lead. So it is Blackford now with Corey Ginsberg on deck, followed by Kyle Marquise. Throw to first, not in time. Cho still on the bag. And a 1-0 count at the plate. Another pickoff attempt unsuccessful for Renshaw. Another high fly ball, but this one just goes over the fence in right. Foul ball, 1-1. Blackford steps back in. Renshaw readies to deliver the 1-1. And he'll call time once again. It's Cho at first. Wankus grounded out to short. Then Giantonio hit a home run on the first pitch from Renshaw to him. Cho got on. And now it's Blackford at the plate who has a 2-1 count. Hits that one high and foul to even us back up 2-2. Here's the 2-2. Runner goes. Cho at second is not in time. Not fast enough, it seems, and that will end the inning. So at the end of the first, I only had one out, but I guess they got Blackford at the plate as well. It is a John Giantonio home run that has Pascack Hills up 1-0 at the end of one. This is Charlie Brugna, the sophomore third baseman, to lead off the top of the second inning for Indian Hills. After a 1-2-3 inning from Kyle Wankus, pitches a strike to start the second. It's a John Giantonio home run that got things started. Now a foul ball to bring the count to 0-2 for Brugna. Swing and a miss for Brugna, and he'll sit down as there's one away, and now the senior second baseman Nick Speciale comes on. Believe he likes to go by Nico. He's one of the 7 seniors on this Braves roster. Speciale takes strike one. And he'll take strike two as well. 0-2 here for Speciale after the strikeout for Brugna. And on deck, the junior right fielder, Ben Piotrowski. That one, a swing and a miss for Brugna. And there's 2 away now as Piotrowski comes to the plate. We have a little stoppage here. The umpire talking. Oh. And now it looks like Piotrowski is ready to go. He'll take strike one. That one outside. So 1-1. That one in there. 1-2. And Piotrowski and Indian Hills down to their last strike in this top second inning. And he was ready to go. Two. in there. You see, this is why I like having a scoreboard. I'm not very good when it comes to counting balls and strikes here in the outfield, but I do know that was a strikeout, and we go to the middle of the second with a 1-0 Hills lead. Ginsburg, Marquise, and Zabo do up here in the bottom second frame. And Ginsburg takes a ball from Renshaw. He is the designated hitter, DHing today for the sophomore Cole Miller. Hits one high, but catchable. But it does drop, and Ginsburg has a base hit. It was a great effort from the left fielder. That being, excuse me, I have to get my notes up. That being Justin Talamini. But it will drop, and Ginsburg gets on as up comes Kyle Marquise. Bunt for Marquise down the third baseline, foul. And Marquise with the 0-1 count, and Ginsburg on first. Strike two called. High, Ginsburg does not advance, but it is a ball, so 1-2 now the count. That one off the glove as well. Ginsburg does not try to take advantage. 2-2. These two teams have played each other twice a year as league opponents since 2023. Hills has taken all of those 4 meetings, including a 6-2 win last year when it was played here in Montvale on May the 7th. Ginsburg with another one in the dirt stays, and we have a full count here for Kyle Marquise. Here's the pitch. Outside ball 4, runners on first and second for Jake Zabo, the catcher. And none out. Little javelin practice happening behind us. Great Monday to be outside. Wonderful mid to high 70s weather. A couple of mild, very mild wind gusts coming through to somewhat cool us off, as one does right here. I believe that was a strike, so 0-1 here for Zabo. Pulled back, strike 2 called by my count. And here comes the 0-2. Chopper just gets over Renshaw at second. The step made in time. So Marquise will be out, but there are runners on the corners. Ginsburg at third, and now Szabo at first, who we expect to be pinch ran for, and he will be. And if I were to guess, that's going to be Noah Lefkowitz, but it could be many other people, as now we get the center fielder Joe Napolitano at the plate. One out, trying to drive in a run. Pickoff, not even thrown. Does scare Ginsburg back to the bag. Swing and a miss for Napolitano at the plate. 0-1. That one in there, it seemed. 0-2 now with one out. High fly ball for Napolitano. It's not deep enough, but it does get over the glove. Ginsburg will make his way home, and Lefkowitz is able to get to third as Joe Napolitano has a one-out RBI double. Runners on second and third now with Lefkowitz, the man, 90 feet away. And here is Eddie Mulligan, the third baseman. One out, two on. That one ripped down the foul line off the protective netting. So no one count for Mulligan. Just announced his commitment to Quinnipiac right before this game, where he'll study criminal justice. Calls timeout right here. 0-1 count for him. One after that outside pitch. High fly ball. Mulligan fouls that one off. 1-2. And here comes the 1-2. We thought for a second until Renshaw stepped off. Now we'll get ready. Here comes. Two. The 2-2 from Renshaw. Outside, full count. Here's the 3-2, high for ball four, and the bases are loaded on a walk as Kyle Wankus comes back to the plate with just one out. And John Giantonio, the man who homered in the top of the first inning, in the bottom of the first inning, excuse me, on deck. Let's see if Wankes can drive in a run here. Bases are loaded. It is Lefkowitz at third, Napolitano at second, and Eddie Mulligan at first. L.J. Renshaw on the mound for Indian Hills. Here's the first pitch to Wankes. It's a little low. 1-0 count. Line drive into the glove of the second baseman. A nice catch. And they get Napolitano at second as well. All around great play from Nico Speciale, the senior. And he sends Hills to the end of the second, stranding 3 runners. But they are up 2-0. It is, I believe, the sophomore catcher Tyler Babian to lead off for Indian Hills after 2 1-2-3 innings for Kyle Wankes. The Braves down 2-0 in the top of the third. Great day to be outside as Babian takes ball 1. I'm Matthew Merlino. Thanks for joining us. Tape delayed still. Trying to figure out how we can go live from out here with no Wi-Fi. Hopefully we'll have that sorted for you by the end of this year or next year. 2-0 count, and I believe it is now 2-1. Chopper foul line 2-2. On deck, Jack Bearer, the sophomore first baseman, and the center fielder, Dylan Biernacki, a senior. Foul ball again to keep us at a 2-2 count. Wankes pitches strike 3, and Babian looks at it. 1 away off the looking strikeout from Wankes. And up comes Jack Bearer, the sophomore. Indian Hills trying to get on the board here. Scoreless through 2 innings. And down by 2 runs. Swing and a miss for Bearer. 0-1 count. Foul ball down the third baseline. 0-2. Chopper to Blackford. He'll toss it to Wankes. A great play to put 2 away, and that brings up Biernacki, the senior, playing in center field today. And we'll see if he's able to end this scoreless drought or at least get on base for the Braves and bring up L.J. Renshaw, the leadoff batter, in the lineup. Shows bunt with 2 out. Pulled back, and it was the right decision, it seems. 1-0. Fly ball foul. 1-1. Outfielders letting him know he was a little late on that swing. 1-1 count. Strike 2 called. Wankes 1 out away. 1 strike away, I should say. Foul ball keeps the at-bat going. Swing and a miss for Biernacki, and it is 3 straight 1-2-3 innings for Kyle Wenkes to start against Indian Hills at the middle of the third inning. 2-0 Broncos. Bottom third in Montvale, 2-0 Hills lead. This is John Giantonio, who had a home run in the bottom of the first to begin the Hills scoring. It was a solo home run. He has an 0-1 count right now and makes it a 1-1 count after staying on a outside pitch. Chopper down the third base line. It will go foul. So 1-2 count here for Giantonio. Started the season as the 7th batter in the Hills lineup. Has played pretty much every inning of the season in right field. That's when he's not pitching. But he does look at strike 3 here for 1 out. Moved up to second in the order and has stayed there for the past 3 or so weeks. Now up, it is the shortstop Emerson Cho. Got on base in the bottom of the first inning. Takes strike 1 here. Never mind, ball 1. Thought I heard strike. Let's see, 1-0 to Cho. That one a strike on the outside corner. 1-1. That one a little too far outside. 2-1 now for Renshaw. Facing Emerson Cho here with Anthony Blackford on deck. Cho hits that one foul over on the first base line. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Full count. 3-2. What does Renshaw go with here? Ground ball to short. Play is made, and there's 2 away as Blackford comes to the plate. He's the first baseman now when he's not pitching. Last year played most of the season as a catcher. At least some of it. Or really, you can take any player from Pascack Hills, any player from anywhere in the state of New Jersey, I feel like, and place them wherever, and they'll pan out as good as they can be. 2-0 here for Blackford. Ground ball. Nice play from the shortstop O'Shaughnessy. Throw a little high, but the play still made, and we end the third inning with no scores from either side. 2-0 still, the overall score with Hills up by 2 runs. Back to the top of the Brave order with L.J. Renshaw here in the top of the 4th. It is Wenkes still on the mound after 3 straight 1-2-3 innings. And at the middle of the 4th, we'll give you our Hills Sports update. Catch you up on what happened over the weekend here at Hills. Ground ball to Marquise, but it gets through for a base hit. Napolitano keeps it at that. But it is a leadoff base hit for L.J. Renshaw here in the top of inning 4. And now the sophomore shortstop, Matt O'Shaughnessy, who's made some good plays in the field today, comes to the plate. Showing bunt, pulled back. Strike one. Fouled that one off, 0-2 count. That one in the dirt, 1-2. High and inside to even up the count. Ground ball, foul. Two and two. Here's the pitch. Just inside, 3-2. Chopper foul keeps us at a full count. Swing and a miss for O'Shaughnessy. One away and one on as up comes Ryan Hurley. Pickoff not in time for Renshaw. Got to the bag. Swing and a miss. Renshaw going. Throw to second. Not handled. And it will be a stolen base for L.J. Renshaw. 0-1 at the plate for Hurley now, with Renshaw advancing to get into scoring position. Nice pitch from Wank. 0-2 with one out. Swing and a miss. And that puts two away. And now Charlie Brugna, the sophomore, to the plate. Indian Hills looking for their first run of this game. We'll see if Brugna can drive in Renshaw with two out. He looks at strike one. Gonna check if he went. I don't think so. 1-1. Called strike two. Mike is trying to send us to the middle of the fourth, and our Hill Sports update 1 and 2. Low. We'll have to wait just a little longer. Even count 2 and 2 for Brugna. On deck is Nico Speciale. Swing and a miss for Brugna, and we go to the middle of the fourth with a 2-0 Hills lead as we give you that Hills Sports update that we promised. Starting with last Friday, where we brought you a league win for softball, a walk-off win in 8 innings. They only play 7 in regulation. Had to go to extras for this one. 7-6 the final as Pascack Hills softball beat Westwood. Taylor Pollock credited with the win, went 3 for 5 from the plate. Riley Sneath also added a .500 average, going 2 for 4. His baseball team unfortunately had a loss at Ramapo 9-0 as that win occurred. Saturday, 2 lacrosse games. Boys lacrosse with an 11-5 win at Mount Olive. CJ Driver with 5 goals, 3 assists, but crucially 8 points. He's now 11 points away from the county record. They have an away game at Demorest tomorrow, and then they will be back home for senior night on Friday against Saddle River Day, where we expect Driver to be in contention to break that record. We will have live coverage of that one. Logan Nassau with 1 goal, 3 assists, adding 4 points, and Mike Weaver with 4 points of his own with 2 goals and 2 assists. Brendan Singleton in goal, credited with the win, had 9 saves and 5 goals against him. Girls lacrosse had a loss at Wayne Valley, however, a 15-9 loss, and that one in the league, with Emily Driver scoring 3, Clara Kim also scoring 3, and Astrid Veloso scoring 1 goal. Asia Crandall credited with the loss, 9 saves and 15 goals against. On Sunday, softball had a loss against New Milford as we get ready to get back going here in the Coaches versus Cancer Clash in Park Ridge. That final 7-1. It's strike 1 here as Renshaw pitching to, if I'm not mistaken, as we have a high foul ball here, I believe this is Ginsburg. Could be mistaken, however. This looks like a 1-2 count to me. So we have some nice contact here, but that one foul as well. And we'll try and splice in our update. Today, many events happening. Boys golf in the Arcola Invitational at the Arcola Club in Paramus. Girls golf in a tri-match at Rockley today, taking on both Northern Highlands and Demorest. 2-2 count. Baseball, obviously, today playing Indian Hills. Softball in a league game at Mawa today. And boys tennis home today playing against Cliffside Park. Swing and a miss for, I'm going to say Ginsburg, but I'm not so sure about that. If that means this is Kyle Marquez. And I believe I can make out a number 10, so I think I'm right on the money. Tomorrow, many events happening, including one that we'll be covering. Boys tennis taking on Don Bosco. Boys golf taking on Tappan Zee High School up in New York at the Rivervale Club. We'll be here for baseball against St. Mary's tomorrow at 4:15 with the tape-delayed coverage coming later that night. Girls lacrosse and boys lacrosse both in action. The girls are at Rutherford and the boys are at Demorest. That's your Hill Sports update, and we'll update you on where our teams stand in the standings of their leagues in just a moment. If I'm going to hazard a guess, it's a 2-1 count here for Marquise, although I will be honest, I haven't really been keeping track. That's bad on me, and I apologize. Let's get you the league standings for all of our teams as Marquise fouls this one off 2-2. Baseball right now sitting tied for second with Ramsey. They're both a game back of Westwood. Only team out of the league title race is Riverdale. Indian Hills is 3 games back of Westwood, trying not to drop a fourth because that would eliminate them from the league title race as well, if I'm not mistaken with my math. I'm sorry if I am, Mrs. Goodman. Boys lacrosse currently leads by half a game over Old Tapan in their league. It'll be a big matchup when both of those play, as Marquis strikes out here and brings up Jake Zabo. Old Tapan is a half game back of Hills in the Boys Lacrosse League standings, with Park Ridge, Indian Hills, and Rutherford all tied for third, 2 games back of the Broncos. For boys tennis, they sit third of the 6 teams in their league. The Big North Patriots, same teams you know and love from most of our Hill sports. Lacrosse is a little different and football is a little different. So we have an 0-1 count here for Zabo. Riverdale with the lead in the league right now. Mawa a game back and Hills 2 games back as of right now. 1-1 at the plate. For girls lacrosse, they were in a 4-way tie for the league lead. Then they lost on Saturday in a league game and now sit a game back of the 2 on top, those being Wayne Valley and Passaic Tech. They're 1-1 in the league right now. Wayne Hills sits between them and the 2 leaders with a 1-0 league record. They're a half game back. And for softball, they sit 5th of the 6 teams, actually tied for 4th with Mawa. Both of those teams 3 games back of Ramsey and Riverdale, who are both 5-1 in league play. Indian Hills in between those two, just a game back of the 2 leaders at 4-2. And Westwood, the only team eliminated from the league title race. Their loss to Hills on Friday, eliminating them from that. They're 0-6 in the league, the Cardinals. So that, for real, ends our Hills sports update. Now back to paying attention to our game at hand as we have a long foul ball here from Zabel. Two out, none on. This is Jake Zabo with Joe Napolitano on deck. That one ball 4, so Zabo will take his base, and there's a runner on as Napolitano comes to the plate. And Lefkowitz will come on to pinch run for the catcher. Here comes the center fielder, the junior. Where's number 1, Joe Napolitano? In the dirt, bouncing. Lefkowitz at second. Not in time. They got him again. And that will send us back to the dugouts. End of the 4th inning, still 2-0 Pascack Hills. Wank is still on the mound to begin the top of the 5th. 2-0 Pascack Hills lead. This is Charlie Brugna, takes strike 1. One and one now. Swing and a miss. 1-2 for Wankus, facing Brugna with Speciale and Pietrowski due up as well. Foul ball. It's allergy season as well. Nice weather, but pollen everywhere. It does not help. 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Wankus sits one down, that being Brugna. And now it'll be Speciale at the plate. High fly ball. It'll be caught by Marquise coming back. Tough catch for the junior, but he's able to make it. And there's 2 away now as Piotrowski comes to the plate. One 0. Ground ball may get through. It does. Base hit into center for Ben Piotrowski, and up comes Tyler Babian. Ground ball, chopper caught by Blackford, and that will send Hills back to the dugout. And by Hills this time, I mean both teams. Middle of the 5th, 2-0 Broncos. Welcome back. Bottom of the 5th now beginning. 2-0 Bronco lead in Montvale. I'm Matthew Merlino, getting past 5:40 on this Monday afternoon. Swing and a miss. Ground ball to third, mishandled. And it will be an error, I believe, that gets Joe Napolitano on base. So here is Eddie Mulligan. Pickoff goes wild, but stays near first base, so Napolitano will stay right where he is. I believe that's Napolitano at first and Mulligan at the plate. It could very well be Mulligan at first and Wankus at the plate, but I think it is Mulligan at the plate who showed bunt and pulled back for ball 1. And it is. Thank you, Hills dugout, for confirming. 1-0 count. Nearly hit him. Pulled back. 2-0. Pickoff attempt not in time once again. Napolitano taking extra care to make sure he's on the bag. Two 0. Nice hit. Base hit into shallow left. And it will stay as a base hit, but it does advance both runners. So Mulligan at first and Napolitano on second as Kyle Wenkus comes to the plate. Bottom fifth inning, 2-0 for Pascack Hills. Wenkus shows bunt. Pulled back 1-0. One 0 count for Wenkus. Shows bunt again. Pushed for it, so it will be a strike. None out, 2 on. 1-1. Bottom fifth, 2-0 Hills lead. I want a ball, 2-1. On deck, John Giantonio with Emerson Cho after him. Called strike. 2-2. Foul ball. Keeps us going. Renshaw still on the mound for Indian Hills. Pick off at second, not in time. Foul ball, third base line. Two-two, hit into center. It will be a base hit. They're going to wave Napolitano home. And at the plate, there's a good chance because it went back to the wall. Now 2 runs will score. Wenkus with the helmet off comes in with a 2 RBI triple. And Hills leads 4-0. John Giantonio at the plate with Kyle Wenkus 90 feet away, none out. Low for ball 1. And a break here for Giantonio. Back in the box, high ball, 2-0. 3-0 count if I'm not mistaken. Very well, maybe. Strike one called. Pick off at third, not in time. Pitch outside, ball 4. And there are now runners on the corners for Emerson Show. None out. Some Indian Hills bullpen work. And I think I read number 3. So that would mean Jake Isak is up. Could be on the mound soon. High ball. Giantonio will take second. Cho had to move his head out of the way, and we have a 1-0 count. Just 4 games left for both of these teams in the league season. Hills has played Riverdale, Ramsey, and most recently Mawa. And once they finish up this 2-game series with the Braves, they'll have just 1 league series left, and that'll be against the Westwood Cardinals. 2-0. High fly ball back here may have a chance, but it will be caught. A nice catch by Talamini. At the sack flies, does score 1. Wenkus comes in, and we have a 5-0 Hills lead. One out, runner on third. And now Anthony Blackford. Low, 1-0. And it looks like we'll have a little mound visit from the umpire here with Renshaw. Pretty quick. Time called. Strike 1. Called for Blackford, 1-1. High fly ball for AB over in right, but it is caught. And we go to the end of the 5th with a 5-0 Hills lead. Big inning for the Broncos. Apologize, I'm very much off my game today. That was only 2 away. And this is Corey Ginsberg with, by my count, 1 ball and no strikes. Nice base hit in a center for Ginsberg, and he gets to first base. Giantonio scored on what was the sac fly that I thought ended the inning, so it is 6-0 for Hills. And now up comes Jake Szabo. Time called again, this time the coaching staff to the mound. Renshaw stays on the mound. We remind you that Jake Esack, the senior, was in the bullpen a few moments ago. This is Kyle Marquez. 2 out, Ginsberg on first. And a 6-0 Hills lead outside for ball 1. This team has had to make some changes to their lineup, Pascack Hills, as we get a chopper over to short, and the step on to second base is in time. So that, for real this time, will end the 5th, and we'll tell you why they had to make some changes in the next inning. Back in Montvale, top of the 6th, and a 6-0 Pascack Hills lead over Indian Hills right now. Kyle Wenkes on the mound, who has 11 strikeouts so far today and just 1 hit against him, which happened in the last inning. They've had to make some changes in the infield, Pascack Hills, after an injury that happened in the game at Mahwah last Wednesday, where Gavin O'Donnell, the usual third baseman, collided at home plate with Jake Szabo, I would presume on a bunt sort of play and a mishap, but that sent O'Donnell to the hospital with a few injuries in his face, and we wish him well, but that's why Mulligan's at third, Marquez is at second, Cho's at short, and we've got Miller in the outfield with Napolitano in center and Giantonio in right, but those are usual, the last two. 1-1. And a swing and a miss, foul ball, 1-2. I believe this is Jack Bearer. Strike 3 called. So that's 1 away. And now Dylan Biernacki to the plate with LJ Renshaw on deck. One 0 count. Base hit into center. Great rip from Biernacki to put himself on with 1 away and bring up Renshaw. Soenkis with 12 strikeouts today has 1 away here in the top of the 6th. Low pitch for ball 1 to Renshaw. Swing and a miss, and we have a 2-0 count. Sorry, a 1-1 count. That one in there. Held off on it, Renshaw did, but still a called strike, 1-2. Chopper, third baseline, foul. Fly ball into shallow center. It will drop. Napolitano keeps it at a base hit, but it will be another base hit for Indian Hills. This one from L.J. Renshaw, and that puts himself on first and Dylan Biernacki on second as Matt O'Shaughnessy, the sophomore, comes to the plate. One out. Good chance for the Braves here to get on the board. Wankes pitches strike one. Chopper over to third. Cho with the throw to third. But he's safe, and the bases are loaded. It was a tough throw for Cho to make, and a even tougher catch for Mulligan. And unfortunately, the play did not materialize, so the bases are loaded now for Indian Hills and for their designated hitter, Ryan Hurley. Big at-bat here as Coach Nick Evans comes to the mound to chat with Kyle Wankes, who had been very steady and very good all game. Now it seems perhaps losing a little bit from fatigue. It was a quick meeting, and Wankes is still on the mound. We'll see if they put somebody in the bullpen just in case, as we get a chopper over to AB. Throw to first in time. Throw to second in time, but nobody at first. And one run does score. So it is a 6-1 ball game. 2 out. Runners on first and third for the Braves. And that was an RBI single from Hurley. Fielder's choice, perhaps. This is Charlie Brugna. Fouled that one back. One count. Time called as Wankes threw his pitch. One and one. Swung at one in the dirt. Bounced up and was caught by Zabo. 1-2. Swing and a miss, and there's 3 away. We will send them back to the dugout at the middle of the 6th. Indian Hills does get on the board, and our score at the middle of 6 innings is 6-1. The Broncos leading the Braves. There will be some bullpen action for Pascack Hills, and we'll get you the identity of the pitcher. From afar, it kind of looks like Kyle Marquez, but we'll check on that. And there's a new pitcher for Indian Hills here. And if I'm looking at it correctly, it is Kenny DeFeo, the senior, who wears number 31. In the bullpen for Pascack Hills is Kyle Marquise, as we presumed. Can confirm it to you now. Low ball for the first pitch. And I believe this is Jake Zabo at the plate with a 1-1 count. So Napolitano on deck. Fly ball, base hit into center. Good start for Pascack Hills in the bottom of the sixth. 1 on. And that was Zabo because Lefkowitz now comes to pinch run, so this is now Joe Napolitano. Shows bunt. Stayed with it and missed, so 0-1, but Lefkowitz was able to advance. A little bit of a wild pitch. High fly ball into center for Napolitano. Catch will be made by Justin Talamini, who rotates over there from left. And there's a 1 away as Eddie Mulligan comes to the plate now. Strike one called. Inside edge for Mulligan. High fly ball to center again. It's a little deeper, but still caught by Talamini. And now 2 away as Kyle Wenkus comes to the plate. Lefkowitz able to advance. So he's 90 feet away with Wenkus at the plate. Trying to drive in an insurance run here. DeFeo back to the mound. 2 out. One 0. Sorry, 0-1. Little low. The 1-1. High ball. Lefkowitz stays as it goes behind the plate. 3-1 count here. And it will be ball 4, so a walk to first base for Kyle Wenkes. Now John Giantonio. Runners on first and third for the junior, who homered to begin the scoring in this game all the way back in the bottom of the first. That put Hills up 1-0, and they have not turned back since. On deck, Emerson Cho. Ripped down the third base line into left field off the netting. 0-1. That one a little high over Giantonio's head, so we have a 1-1 count. Low pickoff. Wilds. Wenkes advances. Lefkowitz gets home. Seven to 1. And now just a runner on second. And I believe it was a ball at the plate as well, so if that is the case, it is a 2-1 count. Here comes from DeFeo. And that one, ball 4. So 2 on, Emerson Cho to the plate. Runners on first and second for the shortstop. Fly ball out left, caught. Good play from Eric Finale. And that will end the 6th inning. So barring a 6-run Indian Hills comeback, it will be the final inning of this one. Top of the 7th inning. Kyle Wenkes still on the mound, trying to finish off the complete game as we enter the top of the 7th with a 7-1 Pascack Hills advantage over Indian Hills. High balls to start things off. Swing and a miss. So a 1-1 count here. And that one fouled off to make it 1-2. Whew. Fastball right next to his head. Ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Wenkes readies. Got him looking. 1 out. I believe that is strikeout number 14 on the day for Kyle Wankus. Swings and misses. 0-1. Another swing and a miss. 0-2. And that's strike 3, so Hills 1 out away. Let's see if he can finish this game off as he started most of it with a 1-2-3 inning. 0-1 count here. He's only allowed 2 hits today. Strike 2. Last strike. I don't know if you can hear the shouts from the outfield, but I can. And they're quite funny. And they're especially happy as Kyle Wankus completes the game with the win. Final score 7-1 as Pascack Hills defeats Indian Hills in a league game. And by my count, I'll try to wait to get confirmation from this. Kyle Wankus finishes with 15 strikeouts. He's now 5 away from the magic number of 100 career strikeouts, and that's taking off a year from pitching last year. How about that? We thank you for joining us. We are back tomorrow with baseball at 4:15 with our tape-delayed coverage later in the night. Our baseball team, a non-league game, taking on St. Mary's from down in Rutherford, but it'll be right here in Montvale. For now, this is Matthew Merlino. Thanks for joining us on PH Athletics. It's a busy week coming up, so stay tuned here from Montvale. Thank you for watching this presentation of PH Athletics. For more information, head to hills.pascack.org/athletics.